The no kings protests. Now, you know what the enemy means for bad, God means for good. It's written in the book. It is written. So they're having no kings protests. But unbeknownst to them, they're protesting no dictators in the world today. They think they're protesting against Trump. Trump is not the dictator. Trump is being utilized. He's not a king. Yes, he's arrogant, but he's submitted under the authority of God in the military, even though he's not 100% submitted. He's not a king. But you got to understand, if you can read spiritually, they're protesting no kings anywhere in the world because kings are dictators. So appreciate them for going out and protesting no kings because they're protesting no dictators. And Trump's not a dictator. We're under martial law. They'll finally tell the people sometime soon we're under martial law, election interference. So, but you got to understand what is meant for bad, meant for good. Is in Genesis. You know, Joseph tried to tell them that even though they sold him into slavery, they threw him in the well, tried to kill him. You know, took his coat and tore it, put blood on it. And Joseph later on says, "No, God sent me before you to help my family." So that when there was famine in the land, my family, our family, which he's saying to our brothers, our family would prosper. Our family would be taken care of. And they didn't understand spiritually because they sold him into slavery because Joseph was the favorite. Now, it means a lot more than you think. Joseph was a prophet. Jacob knew that. But Jacob didn't quite understand, so he thought he was arrogant and needed to learn the lesson of humility, which we all do. So he did have to learn lessons of humility by going to the dungeon. You know, his robe was torn, everything else. His robe was taken off. he was unveiled. And the funniness of God. God is hilarious. So, wow. So if you really knew God, so no king's protests. So unbeknownst to them, they're protesting that all satanic leadership, which are known as kings in kingdoms, and also wars and rumors of wars. Rumors start wars, which are lies. So the dictators start wars because the right-hand man is lying to them and telling them the other kingdom's going to devour you. So they devour because they're afraid somebody's going to take their kingdom away. So you understand a dictator lives in fear. Fear of man, not fear of God, fear of man, not respect for God, fear of man. So when the different wars happened, when they would kill an American soldier, another one would stand up. They killed another leader in America's leaders, another one would stand up. They realized because they were a dictatorship, they could not win the war because a dictatorship, they have a king at the top. So all you have to do is take out the king. So when King Saul stopped hearing from God and had the Samuel conquered for a word from God, yeah, you're going to go into battle and you're going to die there. So you can imagine he put on a mask, the 2020 mask. He put on a mask and hit himself, and it said he took a stray arrow. There's no such thing as stray arrow, no such thing as accidents. So they're protesting no kings worldwide. That's what God, when you pray, God will direct your prayers where he needs them. In spite of you praying bad, in spite of the reason why you thought you're having a protest, you thought you're protesting against Trump, but you're actually fueling the fire of the Holy Spirit to take out the kings and kingdoms that must fall. It's in the book of Daniel. Reread Daniel, many, many Tiklam Sharon. Read it over and over and realize that Daniel was the king and the priest. And all these kingdoms were just collapsing. And it was Daniel's reign and all the kingdoms were collapsing because they were dictators. So take heart. All this stuff has to happen. All prophecies must be fulfilled. And they're always being fulfilled if you understand time, times, and times. So we're in a halftime. And it's not about the natural mind times time and time, 2, 1, half, 3, half. No. It's about God having his way in spite of his children praying wrong, running amok and crazy. And even a gangster, if a gangster knew he was being used by the head gangster and he's just a pawn and he's being used by the king gangster, they would not follow the gangster anymore, would they? They would not submit to the king of the gangs, the Latin kings, the SUR-13s, all these. You know how to ruin the gangsters? You know how to dismantle their people? Pray that God will put love in their hearts. They won't be able to kill anybody, won't be able to hurt anybody, won't be able to sell their drugs. Cartels going down, people. You got it? Get the word out.